when I was showing you the chord progression that I did here. So this chord progression is in the scale of A minor, and I did it with minor chords. So first of all, let's talk about scales. What is a scale? If we go here to a new pattern, you can see that FL Studio gives us some tools to help us with scaling, with the scales. And as you can see, we have this A in a little bit darker or grayish color. So we have the white notes, the black notes, and then we have this gray color. And this color indicates us the root note that we have selected on. So in this case, we have the root note as A. But if I go here to view scale highlighting, I can change this scale, for instance, to F. And now you can see that A is no longer selected, or grayed, is now F. So the gray color indicates what root note or root scale we have. So let's go back to A minor. And then you can see that here in the piano roll we have lighter colors and darker colors. And these do not always match the colors of the keys. For instance, in this case it does, because the A minor scale basically is just all the white notes, like this. So in this case, all the lighter colors here match the white notes, but it doesn't have to be like that. So if I go here, for instance, to view scale highlighting, and let's say that I change to F sharp minor. Now you can see that the scales or the colors changed, and now we have this one here belongs. This is grayed out, so it doesn't belong to the scale. B belongs because this is a lighter color. Then this one here, it's not a lighter color. And you can see this C is a white note. So this is how you manage to check between the scales. So basically, it's easy for you to go here, select or view scale highlighting, and choose the scale that you want. You also have here different scales, but I will only talk about minor and major scales. So going back to the question, what is a scale? Basically, a scale is just a group of notes that sound well together. If I play here the A minor scale, you see that we start with A, then B, C, D, E, F, G, and back to A. You see, and this is A minor is a very simple scale because it's all the white notes, so you can just move around very easily and make a chord progression. Very, very simple, just moving around, playing the notes. It's very easy to make a chord progression in this scale because it's just all the white notes starting with A, as you can see. So this scale is basically a group of notes that sound well together. And then we have chords. So if we think a scale as a group of notes, then we can create or play notes from that group of notes that sound well together. So let's say that this is our scale from A to A. And let's say now that I want to play a note in this one. So I could just play C, D, something like that. I could just go something like that. Or I can play individual notes inside of the scale, of the group of notes from the scale, or I can play several notes together. If I play 3 notes together, then we have a chord. And in this case, if I play 3 notes together with one distance of okay, so how can I say this? So if I play one note, I skip another one, and then I play that one, skip another one, and then I play that one, then we have, in this case, a minor scale, as you can see here. And a minor scale basically is just a combination of 3 notes. And we can also play a major scale. And a major scale will be, let's go do here. Let's do a minor scale. And let's do a major scale. Okay, as you can see, the difference between a minor and a scale is the notes in between the two ones. So this one is the root note, or the root of the chord, and then this is the perfect fifth, and then we have here inside we have two notes, and this could be the minor third or the major third. And this basically just gives us it's the number of the chords, or the notes inside of the scale. So this would be the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, and fifth one. And as you can see, this is the first note, this is the fifth, this is the third, and in this case this would also be the third, but this one is minor, this one is major. This is what distinguishes between a minor and a major chord. And if we look at here, we see that A major actually does not belong to the A minor scale, because to do a major scale, we will have to do this. And this C sharp does not belong to the A minor scale. So to find a major scale inside of the A minor scale, we would have to move this one up and down. So let's do, this one does not fit, and this one would fit. So C major would fit in the A minor scale, because to do a C major chord, we use C, E, and G. And you see the difference between the chords. If I play now C minor, it sounds a little bit more moody, and C major tends to sound a little bit happier. And as you can see, C minor does not belong to the scale of A minor, because for that we would need F sharp here. So this is basically how we do chords, or how we work, or how I work with chords. And after a while, you read a couple of articles, a couple of books on music theory, and this becomes a little bit clear. And yeah, that's the difference between a scale. So if we go back and resume everything, a scale is just a group of notes that sound well together. And then we have chords, which could be, in the most simple terms, a minor chord and a major chord. There are other ones, but those are the simplest ones. Is a combination of three chords or three notes that should be inside of the scale that we are playing with. And in this case, A minor chord belongs to the A minor scale. Of course, we could have also, for instance, this one here, D minor, also belongs to the A minor scale. And then we would have also the C major, and we would have also an augmented one here, like so. So you can see that it's easy to, as long as we know what are the chords, or what are the notes that sound well together within that scale, it's easier to start making chords. And even if you don't know the name of the chord, I could just go here. I know the A belongs, C and E. Next one, I could just go like this and maybe move this down. This would also belong. Might not sound well, but this belongs. So let's listen to this one. Let's make another one here, and maybe here. So this is as simple as it gets. Of course, this might not sound the best. We could maybe move this one like so. So this sounds a little bit better than the other one, because the other one had the diminished or augmented. I think it was the diminished. Even I'm not sure the exact names of all the chords. It's something that I have to still practice. But as you can see, as long as you know the chords that belong to the scale, it's easier to start move notes around and start finding chords that sound well together so that you can make a chord progression. So I hope that was easy to understand. There was a lot of minor and major and A and C and D, stuff like that, but it's part of becoming fluent with music production and music theory, which is also a very important aspect of music production. Most of the times we stay confined into making music with either samples or within the tool, and we just care only about learning how to use the DAW. And sometimes we don't take time to learn how to do proper music theory or to understand music theory, and that can also help you improve your skills. I have a bunch of books that I can reach out about music theory that I can recommend. For instance, I have this one here, which is Music Theory from Absolute Beginner to Expert. And I haven't finished this one yet, but this one is really good. This one has some really cool cool concepts, and it goes into a lot of detail about music theory. And then I have this one here, Music Theory for Electronic Music Producers. This one I would recommend if it's an easy read, to be honest. It's the beginning of the book I really enjoyed it, but the end, it was a really mess of a book. The examples did not match the text, and the images did not match the text. There was some errors in the end that I didn't appreciate, to be honest. And yeah, I mean, it's a okay book. If you want to grab it, but the end will probably disappoint you like it did disappoint me. But yeah, let's go now to the next question. And basically, I think I answered the two next questions that I have here, which is basically what's a minor chord and what's a major chord. And I think I already explained the difference between both of what is a minor chord and what is a major chord. Let me know if you still have questions about music theory that I can help with. It's easier to showcase with examples here in FL Studio because you can really see what's going on, and I can tell you this is a major, this is a minor, and yeah, if it's I would say it's really important to understand stuff when it comes to music theory, because this will also give you some really cool knowledge and knowledge base whenever you want to make music. And I can tell you that my songs really improved when I start to understand better music theory, because it gave me a solid foundation. And whenever I come into sometimes I come into FL Studio with a lot of inspiration, and I just go through it and make something happen. Sometimes I don't. And whenever I don't have inspiration, I rely on my technique to make something happen. And it might take me a little bit longer, but I always get something out of FL Studio. Every time that I want to open FL Studio and I want to make something, I make it happen. So, and that's because I have a good understanding of music theory. I have a good understanding of FL Studio, and I've been doing this for a lot of years. So, and that's also something to take into consideration. But the more you know about the tool, the more you know about music theory, the better your music is. That's it doesn't work the other way around. It's like the more you know about something, the better you become at something. And to make music, you need both the theory on how to use the DAW, and you also need the theory of music itself. And we sometimes, as electronic music producers, making hip hop, making EDM, making techno, making music electronically with the DAWs, sometimes we neglect the music theory aspect of making music, which we shouldn't.